Good evening, lovely people. I hope we are all doing well. Well, now the dust has settled, and the first game of our African Cup 2025 qualifiers is in the books. And as we all know by now, Ghana lost 1-0 at home to Angola. Now, some are saying the blame is for the coach, others are saying it's the players themselves, and some are saying it's the pitch. There's a lot of blame game going around, which is normal, typical with our Ghanaian uh, culture when things of this happens. But who is really to be blamed? Like, who is really to be blamed? First of all, I want us to look at. Let's start with the lineup. Let's start with the lineup. We had Atizigi in goal, who is currently by far our best goalkeeper. I'm not saying he's better than some of the past goalkeepers, but by far our best goalkeeper. Ali Seidu, understandable. Tariq Lamte, both on the right and the left side, since we do not have a typical left back. In the absence of Gideon Mensah and Baba Rahman, we do not have a typical. Although Ebenezer Annan is in the fold, but he is still new. We had Abdul Mumin and Salisu playing the 4 and the 5, which for me was a great partnership. Not too much loose balls around or loose marking around. Although I felt that communication wise it could have been better, especially with the goal. We had Thomas Partey, Elisha Usu in the double pivot in front of the defense, connecting with the midfield, which is Kudus. We had Fatai Shaku on the wing on the right, and then Semenyo on the left. Jordan Ayew leading the lines. Now, this lineup was, for me, our best in terms of what we have. Some will argue, and for me personally, I will argue the same thing that I would have preferred Majid Ashmiru starting the game. But looking at what we have and looking at him coming from injury, since the AFCON, this was his first time back. So, understandable, Elisha Usi starting. Like I said, that's the best we have. We did not have any other options to go to. So, Elisha Usi starting, uh, it's understandable. But the performance of the players in general wasn't that bad. What I realized from the game prior to the first half was that our left wing was very effective, which was Semenyo and Alidu. Alidu was connecting, supporting the attack. But I couldn't say the same for our right wing. Tariq was making some runs, but Ishaku wasn't having his day compared to what his form is currently in the Premiership or with Leicester City, and the way he's been playing on the right wing. That wasn't the Ishaku we wanted to see. Even in his last game for Ghana, he came on as a start. He came on and did very well. This time around, he wasn't having it. I wasn't expecting him to go past the 60-hour mark. Right? That is that is the part where most people blame the coach. His starting lineup was solid, but I think he took too long with his changes. He could have made the changes a little sooner, especially for a position where we do not lack. You had the likes of Joseph Pencil, Iñaki Williams, Ibrahim Osman, who could play on the wings very effectively. Ishaku is still young. He's not having a good day. This is a crucial match. Your first game sets the tone for how your whole group qualification is going to be. And considering you're playing at home, there was little room for error. So I felt that is where Otuado is to be blamed. That he should have, or he could have made the substitutions a little sooner. He could have made the substitutions a little sooner. That is where I feel Otuado came short in terms of his tactics. I felt that he could have made the substitutions a little sooner. Now, to the statistics of the game, just trying to analyze, because people are saying both teams played on the same pitch, and if they were able to score, we should have been able to score and shouldn't blame it on the pitch. Before I get to the pitch, I want us to look at the statistics coming out of the game. Now, if you look at shots for both teams, Ghana had 18, Angola had 11. Shots on target, 5 on both sides. Possession, 58% to Ghana, 42 to Angola. Passes, 397, 294. Pass accuracy, 81%, 69%. Fouls, 19 to 21. Yellow cards, 2 all. Red cards, none. Offsides, 3. 3 to Ghana, 0 to Angola. Corner kicks, 7 to Ghana, and then 3 to Angola. So you could see that every bit of these statistics doesn't show why Ghana should have lost this game. And one thing that is plaguing our national team currently is our goal scoring. Angola, their last 8 matches seems to have scored in every match. Excuse me. But Ghana, we find it, although we score goals, our creative midfielders tend to hold on to the ball too long. And therefore, we do not see our attackers having shots on target or even scoring as much goals as we would have want. And mind you, we were playing at home. Which means we had advantage with the fans. So there was no need for us to be holding back or holding possession too long. Our attack was slow. Our ball possession, although we had most of the possession, I felt like it wasn't dreadful enough. And that is one thing that currently has been plaguing our national team. Kudus is a very excellent player, very good player with so much talent. But sometimes I feel like he overdoes it. Keeping it simple doesn't mean you are not good, especially when you are playing on a field of this nature, just like the Angolans were doing. You rarely see one player trying to dribble through the rest of the Ghanaians. They came with a strategy, and they stuck with it. Their team mentality was to frustrate Ghanaians and to also release the ball as quickly as they can, especially to their wide wingers, their wide players, and then support them and get some crosses in the box. No need to hold on to the ball for too long. Meanwhile, we were trying to dribble unnecessarily, sometimes overdoing stuff, and that is what killed us in the game. Looking at the statistics, we played well. We played decent, but we sometimes held on to the ball too long. And another thing is our set pieces. 7 corners to 3. 7 corners, and none of these 7 corners had an attempt on goal because the set pieces were bad. Kudus and Jordan, none of both set piece takers were able to effectively affect the game. And that can be attributed to the fact that they do not practice set pieces. I don't think we practice set pieces because our set pieces is no extraordinary. You don't see any pattern, anything from the training ground. Our set pieces are just basic, just hopeful that something happens. That is one thing. 7 corners to 3, and none of them produce anything effectively. That is also an issue. We need to practice set pieces. And if Otuado wants to win the hearts of Ghanaians, I feel like Otuado has some work to do. Otuado needs to work on these things. And he has to be bold, regardless of the caliber of the player. If he is if he's not affecting the game how you want it, sit him down. No, if he's Kudus, so what? If he's Jordan, so what? If he's Partey, so what? Let them know you are the one in charge. Sit the player down. So you enforce the rules, they all follow. And I also felt like Jordan and Elisha coming a day later before the game should have not started for those who had been in camp for like 3 days. That is how you instill your law as an authority. You make sure everybody is treated the same. Because I believe if if someone like Alidi Seidu or if someone like Ibrahim Osman had arrived late and there was not even a ringer, you wouldn't have started them. You have to enforce your rule. Now back to the field itself. Let's be honest with ourselves. Ghana right now we are an all-time low in anything, whether it's education, whether it's sports, whether it's health, whether it's our infrastructures, export and import. Ghana is an all-time low. It looks like there's no leader in the country. Spending unnecessarily, excessive budget for things so minimal. 4.3 million for accreditation of A4 sheet paper, which I can go to Staples and get for less than $10. $4.3 million. And we speak in dollars like we eat, that's our currency. You need dollars, and so you can sell dollars. 15 days. You said you prepared food for athletes for up to $16 million. That is insane. And this money could be used to get a proper pitch. It could be used to get a proper pitch. We could use this money to get a proper pitch. Not 2, 3, at least 1. Technology has developed. People say, oh, it's so toy gun and tin grass, and they sent him. It's so bad at tossing UK. The weather there is as bad with rain. They rarely get sunshine, snow, rain, snow, rain. And yet most of their fields are still maintained. Our problem is not getting the field. Our problem is maintaining it. And a whole country have one person as an expert in green grass technology that we rely on. And so all our stadiums are the same. Even the recent TNA stadium for Medema in Takwa, after the inauguration, you could tell the field has so much bumpy in it. The stadium in itself is nice, but the pitch is so bad. So, unless something changed, and I believe, I don't condone violence, but with what happened after the game with the fans trooping on the field, vandalizing the stadium, CAF banning us will be a blessing in disguise. Or even if that doesn't happen because of what happened after the game, but they see during the game and they look at the quality of the pitch. Even the Angolan coach says a country like Ghana should have a proper pitch and a national stadium. If this gets to CAF, if the match commissioner takes this to CAF and CAF is also honest, I don't see why we should be playing our next match in Ghana. We should be playing our next match in an hour away from Ghana, in a neutral ground. And somewhere like Morocco, even Benin has a better field than Ghana does now. Mauritania has a better field. Mali has 5 better field. And I think if CAF sends us away from playing home, it will be a blessing in disguise for us. It will be a blessing in disguise for us. So, whether it's the players, whether it's the coach, whether it's the pitch, the honesty in all of this is that Ghana's standard is at an all-time low. All these so-called small countries are even better than us now. We are not, our so-called or calling ourselves football nation is past gone. It's past gone. And let's hope that someone wise enough steps up and say, I have a heart for this country. And even if we lose everything, our sports, which carries us, when you go anywhere and you say you're Ghanaian, the first thing they say, oh, you guys are good at football. But now we are losing that. So hopefully, somebody takes responsibility in bringing our sports back to where it deserves. Well, until then, I'll see you all again. Well, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Again, my name is Sam, and this was Sam's Corner. Look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Take care.